And aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and I'm your host on the only program that is by a fan, for the fan, and absolutely about you, the fan.
So are you Guy or Dee?
Ed Danowski.
You're not in Hawaii?
I wish.
To Mr. Gary Younger.
Hi, Dee.
Hey, sir, how are you?
And Brock, how are you doing?
Doing great, sir. Doing great. Honored to have you on the show.
You know, I had the privilege while I was in the forces, in the Canadian Armed Forces, to take the Stanley Cup to Afghanistan. Only hockey fans would deploy to Afghanistan where it's 105 to 135 degrees every day, and they'd take their hockey sweaters and play ball hockey. This is a year for the Leafs. The Leafs are going to win it all this year. One of the players down the line said, "You got to be kidding. The Taliban got a better chance of winning the cup."
And I'm screwing everything up. Aloha! Welcome to the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, and this is the show that's by a fan, for a fan, and you got to know absolutely about you, the fan. Hey, I'm going to bring Brock in, and he doesn't know what's about to happen. So, Brock, I'm about to make a special phone call. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear him, or you're going to be able to hear him, but he's not going to be able to hear you. I'll kind of explain as we go along. This is something that came up last minute, and I really want to do this. So please stand by and bear with me. Okay, bud?
Cool. Yep.
Okay. Let me pull
How's
this
everybody
down.
doing? Hope everybody's watching some good hockey tonight. Great game today, man.
This current game between Boston and the Islanders, this is going to be a downright fight.
Yep.
If I can get this up.
I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, I'm going to just talk about I said it on the website early on that I think the Tampa Bay Lightning could repeat. But I'll tell you what, I think they're gonna repeat. I don't know who can beat them. I'd like to see Colorado or Vegas, but man, I'll tell you what, they're really playing good. And again, anything can happen. We get it, but really been a fun game to watch today. There were about 8 goals in the span of 4 minutes or whatever it was. It was crazy, crazy, really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at what was going on. Now, let me try this again. I'm still working to get this friend. So the guy I'm calling is Steve Francis. And Steve runs a Facebook group called the St. Louis Blues Hockey History. Yep. Unfortunately, Steve has been battling cancer for about 4 or 5 years, and he is in hospice care. Hey, Steve? Hey, Steve? Steve, can you hear us? Hey, Steve, can you hear us? Are you there, bud? You try and go him on video. Hey, I'm trying to see if he can hear us. I don't know right now. I hear something over there. Hey, Steve, can you hear us? Man, it figures. I'm sorry about this, but this is important to me, guys. I really want to give Steve's been a fan of the game before. I think he's had a tattoo on. There we go. I'm not sure what's going on.
He does a great,
let me see here.
He does a great job with the.
Oh yeah, it's a great group. Hey, Steve, can you hear us? He's got a lot of. That's where I get a lot. Believe it or not, that's where I get some of our guests. I've got them from there. Let me try one more time and see if we can get this. I'm not sure why it's not working. I mean, I could hear like rustling around, but I couldn't hear him. I'm not sure what's going on with my board here, but I know I got the phone turned on. I know I got that light, that one. I'm on 4. I got 4. So he should be able to hear us unless there's something going on that I don't know. All right. If not, we'll try and get him on Monday, but I really would like to give him a chance. So let's see if I can get him on here. Steve's a great guy, and I just want him to know that we're thinking of him, that we're hoping for the best, and when it comes down to it, we'll see him on the other side. Bubba says, make this call happen. We love Steve. Bubba, I'm trying, buddy. I am trying. Steve made me an admin on his group. I mean, that's how much he trusts me, and I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get this call now. Steve, if you are watching it all, try and call me. And we'll see if that might work. I'm not completely sure what's going on. We'll keep an eye on that as we're going. Yeah, this Islanders game.
I want to say, as a Blues fan, the work that you're doing, Steve, and it's made a difference for these generations of fans who don't know the history and some of these, some of the things that I grew up with, some of those games at the arena, and how the electric excitement. And I think that you do a great job covering that to people today who don't know of that experience, and that's great. So
I know, and I'm sorry that I'm having technical difficulties with this. I really do want to make this happen, and you guys know that. So we'll try and get it here. Oh, he's trying to get me to join a room. Let's see if I can get in there, and let's see if this will work. Let's see. Hey, Steve, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear him, Brock? Can you hear Steve? Can you hear us, Steve? That cut out. I mean, I heard him there for a second. Let me
say hello.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Oh, he's in another call. So see if he calls me back. No, he's still in that room. Let's see if I can get back in that room. Guys, please forgive me. Let's see if I get him here. Hey, Steve. There we go. Can you hear us, Steve? It looks like it looks like we got a bad connection is what it is. There we go. Can you hear me? Yeah, it looks like we got a bad connection, but Steve, I got you live right now. You can't hear everybody else, but we can hear you. I just wanted to give you a chance to come on, because you've been a good friend to me, from the beginning. When I first started this, you were one of the guys that first opened up your group to me, and you've been a fan of the game. You've really supported me, and I just wanted you to know how much I'm supporting you while you're going through this really tough battle at the end of this battle. He might be having a bad connection here. Could you hear me, Steve? Can you hear me, bud?
So welcome to live podcasting, everyone. Just want to let you know.
Yeah. This is just the way it goes.
Things we're dealing with.
There we go. I can hear his wife. I think we got a bad connection. We can hear you, Steve. I turned his camera off. No, there we go. Can you hear us, Steve? Hey, Steve, can you hear us? I'm trying to turn him up a little bit and turn me up a little bit. Can you hear us, Steve? Steve, can you hear me? You can't hear me? Yeah, we'll try and do this on Monday. I'm using my board, and for some reason, it's not working. You hang in there, my friend. We'll try this again on Monday. Okay? Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not working. I'm gonna have to try and hit him up ahead of time. I know it's worked before, so I'm not sure why it's not working now. Why my phone all of a sudden decided not to use this outlet here. I mean, I heard him the one time, but he wasn't hearing us. So I apologize, everyone. It's just part of live podcasting. I hear you, Guy, but not.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey, Guy.
I apologize, guys.
Hey, Guy.
So if you were
can I jump in?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Can I jump in on something real quick?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Brock.
No, I just want to say, last night we had a really heated discussion. I thought it was a really great discussion. We were talking about the Sheffley hit, and I think the discussion started off in an area that I definitely don't think you wanted, and nor did I want. And by no means did we ever want to compare the situation to people who are victims of crime. So I just really want to get that out, number one and first and foremost, because I've been a victim of crimes, and I just want to make sure people understand that's not.
Yeah, I
that. I know.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that in some ways it is the same, right? That we were blaming the victim for the hit. You're blaming him because he got hit as bad as he did, and that's what I wanted to make the point of.
Yeah, well,
right. So
I'll tell you what, though, man. When we talk about it, let's just keep it out of the realm of sexual assault, because that's a.
Oh, I get it, but I needed to make. I knew it was in poor taste, right? I knew that, but at the same time, I really needed to make sure.
It's not to embarrass you. It's not just to bring it up so we can be out front with people, because we're not.
Oh, like yeah. No, you're not embarrassed. No, you're not embarrassing me at all. I just needed to make I needed to take that extra step to make that analogy really stick, right? And that's what I wanted. And I was not in any way, shape, or form making light of a victim of sexual assault. I was not. That in fact, I was.
I know that.
I was actually bringing it up in that, look, here's something that we said you cannot do, yet in this case we're doing it. So that's what I was trying to say, right? So if someone was offended, I really apologize for that. I never, ever meant to offend anybody. In fact, I meant to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, no, I just want to clear the air on it. Yeah, no.
I'm getting slammed here. You can't even admit when you're wrong. Comparing to a hockey hit is gross. And okay, I understand that. I really do. I understand where you're coming from. I'll admit, I'll apologize. It was in poor taste, and I'll leave it.
You know what?
That.
I think you did use another example that may have been a little bit more on target about a store owner. So again,
yeah, I used a couple other.
I thought it was important because we're not that way. We're not that way.
Yeah, no, and trust me, I never meant to offend anybody, and anyone who knows me knows that, right? Anyone who knows me knows that.
I know. Yep.
So this game, the first game, I didn't get to see all of it. I got to see portions of it because I kind of fell asleep. That was on me, not anything else. But wow, that game, the Lightning, man, they look good. They look good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. And actually, before we get into that, you brought up something on Twitter yesterday that I wanted to talk about, and we really haven't. And I think now's a good time. I tried to share this out in as many groups as I can. Unfortunately, we only get what we can get and go from there. You brought up the possibility of Kairo being signed to a 6x6. And oh my goodness, I gotta tell you that it was Alex Ferrario that brought that up, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you broke up there a little about. Well, so I want to clear the air on that because they were talking about a different subject related to the Blues and what have you. And the question came up, and I was driving, so I might not have heard the actual numbers, but the number was something ridiculous. Like, would you think Jordan Kairo can get $6 million, a 6-year deal at $6 million a year? And the numbers might have been, but it was like at least a 6-year deal. It made me think, my God, would we pay that for Jordan Kairo? He's a young and up and coming star. And hey, Fox, what's up, dude?
What's up, guys? Sorry,
hey, Jeremy, how you doing, bud?
What's up, dude?
I'm doing good. Lots of things going on in my life, and things are getting fun.
Oh yeah, that's what happens, my friend.
You were talking about Kairo, man. I'd give him a 3 or 4 year deal at maybe 4, but there's no way he's 6'6".
No, well, I would even do that. Where's it? How many years? I think he's only got 3 left before he's a UFA, right? So, if I'm him, I'm not going beyond my UFA years, right? I'm not going to eat into that unless I think I'm going to get more now, right?
And I was asking
Right.
the question more: is Jordan Kairo that much of your future that you would make that kind of commitment to him?
Well, okay, this
Like
brings in a really great question. When you ask about the future, you know what comes in absolutely number one first on that? What's your coaching situation going to be? Right? Because if you have a coach that does not value speed, then no, he's not.
Right.
But if you have a coach that values speed and knows how to use speed, then absolutely he is. So the thinking here is, are you going to be able to use his assets properly over the coming years? Right? And currently, if you are going to re-sign Craig Berube after next year, he is on a 3-year deal, last year of it's next year. If you're going to re-sign him, if your plan is to re-sign him, then I would say, no, you need to trade Kairo. Because Kairo, he's already proven that he's not going to use speed. He's going to stick with that heavy game. He said something, I think, Brock, I think it was you that put it out there. Somebody put it out there on Twitter about competitiveness, right? It's not how much you can hit, it's how competitive you are. Well, when you keep guys with the speed that are competitive in the press box, no, it's exactly about how much you can hit. Because Mikkola was the most competitive guy I saw out there, and he spent the majority of the season in a damn press box. Disagree with me or agree with me?
I agree.
I mean, I don't disagree, but again, you know me, I won't fully agree with you. I won't go 100%. I always give myself a little wiggle room.
But this is what I'm saying. He makes a statement that immediately when I hear it, I want to raise the red BS flag. Hold on here a second.
Can I challenge this?
Yeah, go ahead. There you go. You know, because I'm sorry, there are parts of this that I disagree with. You cannot sit there and say you want a competitive guy. Okay, where Joshua? Yeah, he's young, but oh my goodness, he was competitive. Where did he end up? In the press box, on the practice
Utica.
squad.
Yeah,
you know, in Utica, right? Absolutely. Yep. Freaking Sanford, not competitive at all. None. Mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Yet you kept putting him in the line. Why? Because you think he forechecks good. Period. So your statement of I don't care how hard you hit, I care how competitive you are, falls on these deaf ears. And I mean that literally and figuratively.
Number one, that actually was not my statement, but it did spark a conversation that involved Lance, Let's Go Blues Radio, another gentleman who I don't really know very well. I think Sly, you might have been involved with it at some point. It just it was a discussion item. But to me, it's like that's a really good question because is Kairo the future of St. Louis? And do we commit to a guy like that? We just did it with Bennington, who was maybe a little iffy in some people's minds, but we made that commitment. Where do we what do we do with Kairo? Is it the same situation? I don't think so, but he didn't lead us to the Stanley Cup, number one, but
I forget what group this was in. There was a group, I forget what Facebook group, and it had the best goalies from every franchise in history, right there in history, their best goalie. And they had Bennington as the best goalie ever in Blues franchise. And I'm like, no, these aren't even in the top 5. But at the same time, I think the 6x6 is not a bad deal because in all actuality, it's only a 3x6.
Mhm.
You only have to keep him for 3 years, right? After that, you can trade him. And you can trade him, and maybe you eat $1 million of his salary, or maybe you eat $1.5 million. But that's that's still not a bad deal, right? That's not a bad deal. So I'm okay. I'm still okay with the Bennington deal, because I think people see it. They see it at face value, and they don't read between the lines. And when you read between the lines of that deal, it makes more sense, right?
Okay, all right.
So I'm okay with the Bennington deal, and you look at the Bennington we got in the playoffs. I'm sorry, that was the Bennington we want during the regular season. If that's the Bennington we get next year, that's the Bennington that's going to put up that 920 save percentage, 930 save percentage with 2.6, 2.7 GAA, right?
Well, if you would, okay, let's take today's game. If you would put Jordan Bennington and put him in goal for the freaking Tampa Bay Lightning, no, Vasilevsky won that game for them today.
And I think Bennington would too.
I don't know.
No, I don't think.
It.
I mean, Bennington's good, but I don't think he's on Vasilevsky's level.
Would he give up more than 4 goals? I mean, you're sitting there saying Vasilevsky's great. He gave up 4 goals, right?
I mean,
Bennington, with that type of offense, with that type of defense, would again, look at who you're putting in front of him. We did not put a good defense in front of Bennington. And anybody who sits here and says otherwise, I'm going to call you crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We did not put a good defense in front of him. Defensive zone turnovers. We were top in the league in that. Top in the league. We were in the top 5 in defensive zone turnovers. If you're going to keep turning the puck over in your D zone consistently, you're going to give up goals.
Oh yeah.
Your mistakes are going to end up in the back of the net.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wish there was a way to stat that, right? Give a GAA minus high percentage goals or minus
isn't that what
defensive zone turnover goals?
Isn't that what the GAAX or something is
It
about?
might be. I'd have to look into the I'm not a big stat guy.
Right.
I'm not a big analytics guy, but I'd have to look into analytics a little bit.
I had a question for you guys, being that we're talking about trades and everything. Do you think the Blues should be in on Seth Jones?
Yes.
Ooh, that is
100%.
that. I'm going to say yes. Right.
Okay.
Now, let me put it to you this way.
Okay.
He's a better fit than Eichel is, and he doesn't cost as much as Eichel will.
No. According to Yarmo, I can't even pronounce the dude's last name, but the GM for Columbus.
Yeah.
They want.
I thought that was Davidson.
No, he's president, I thought.
Oh, okay.
No,
President Hockey.
The GM for the Jackets wants a first rounder and a prospect.
Yeah. And he was also
he was a
Yarmo
heartbeat.
used to be with the Blues.
In a heartbeat.
A heartbeat. Jones said that the Flyers are rumored to be in on him, but Jones said he wants to either play for Dallas, Colorado, or and Columbus rebutted with anybody that would give them a good deal. Right now, the deal that Philadelphia has is a first and Nolan Patrick, because they want Patrick out of Philadelphia because he's not playing very well, and Jones wants out of Columbus.
Okay, they're not going to take Columbus isn't going to take Nolan Patrick. Nice try. They're not going to take him. But here's the issue with this. Philadelphia's first round pick is 11 or 12, right?
Right.
I mean, it's up there. It's in the teens. It's in the early teens. They were a lottery pick.
Right.
So they're under 15. So they're in the back end of the lottery, I think.
But Columbus is 5.
Okay, two lottery picks for Seth Jones.
Pretty much,
right?
they would have 2 lottery picks to replace Seth Jones with, and then get another person or a prospect for Jones.
Okay, if I was Columbus, I would not take. I'd take the first round pick. I wouldn't take the other guy.
But the thing is,
I would want a high-end prospect. I would want an NHL-ready prospect. I'd want a guy that's had at a minimum a cup of coffee in the league.
So how about this?
Say again?
I was going to say this. The Blues. Ashley says I'd offer Dunn in the pick. What about Kairo?
No. Nope. And the reason I say no,
okay,
is Kairo has the one thing that this team is lacking, and the last thing you want to do is give up that one thing.
What is the
Kairo?
one thing?
Speed.
But if
Kairo has speed.
But if Berube's not using the speed, why keep him?
Because Berube's the one that's not going to be around longer than Kairo.
But why not bring in Jones, who's a big body that Berube will be able to mold into a solid defenseman, and let Kairo go to Columbus, where his speed could be used with a Patrick Laine or a Jack Rutzovic or a Cam Atkinson or a Boone Jenner?
Okay, so you make a valid point, very valid point. But here's my rebuttal to that.
Okay.
And my rebuttal is, in 3 years, do you see this being a speed and finesse league or a physical heavy hitting league?
Well, it's going to be a speed and finesse league because that's what the players are coming out as.
So if you're going to give it up now, you're not going to have it then.
Okay.
So if you're the GM right now, and you understand that this league is progressing away from what won you the cup, you need to progress with it. Now, when that comes down, it comes down to this. Is Berube an old dog or a young dog? Can you teach him a new trick?
It comes
and that's what it comes down to. It exactly comes down to this. And here's the unknown. This is what we don't know. What we don't know is how much Berube learned this season. I wrote that article, and I stand behind that article 1,000,000,000% that this was going to be his toughest task. And he failed it in my eyes. Okay? He failed it in my eyes. He didn't take the assets he had and use them in the correct way that would have made him successful. Well, everybody is giving him a pass. Everybody.
Not you.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not giving him a pass, but what I'm thinking is Armstrong, Berube is Armstrong's guy. Like, I don't see Army.
I'm not so sure about that anymore. Right? I think that last press conference and that statement that he put out, where you're good, Brock. That statement that he put out, where the absolute bullshit flag came out, it makes me wonder if Armstrong's gonna. Armstrong kept saying, "We're not ready. We're not. We haven't adjusted to the change in the league." He said that a couple of times. He said we need to look at the way the league is moving. Well, okay, if you're doing that, is Berube doing that? Because this year he didn't. And to me, what it comes down to, did he learn? Did he learn? And it's a question that I can't answer right now. Nobody can answer. But I have serious doubts based on his statement. When he said it's all about how competitive you are, yet he left some of the most competitive guys on the team in the press box. I got to stop. Oh, man, this Bruins game is amazing. God, I hate the Bruins, but
this game is pretty damn good. So was the Lightning and the Canes game. That game.
Good, man.
That second period.
I picked the Islanders 2-1 in this. That's how I thought it was going to be. I picked the Islanders 2-1. I thought this was going to be a tight, tough, and I don't want to call it a goaltender battle per se, but it's just so physical that you're not getting great shots.
Hey,
right?
Well, you know what?
That's the thing is it's becoming a goaltender battle, though.
I want to tell you about that stupid contest, man. I'm sick of it because today I picked Braden Point. Braden Point, first goal, beautiful goal, great. Freaking Stamkos has to overshadow. God, did you
what?
Did you pick Stamkos, guy? Did you pick Stamkos?
I picked Point.
Okay, you got 3
Point. Yeah. But I was a lot closer on the score.
What was the
Well, actually, no, I wasn't. I was 3-1. I only got 3 points. This one, I'm damn near close. I said 2-1 on this one. I'll tell you something, and I'm glad you bring up that contest, right? And this isn't changing this. I'm going to start doing something on that contest, right? And I'm going to do this starting from today on. If anybody maxes out on a 2-game or more slate, I'm going to get them a $250 gift card to NHL.com.
Ooh, wow.
Now, this is what you have to do. This is how you have to do it. A 2-game slate is this. For this round, every game from here on out is 2 games, right? Until somebody gets knocked out.
Right.
So after that, it will be 2 days. You will have to get a perfect on day 1 and a perfect on day 2.
Okay.
Right? And a perfect score is this. You pick the team, the winning 2 scores, and the player that gets the most points.
Okay.
Right? And you do that for both games.
Gotcha.
Now, here's the bonus to this. If you can get us to 100 entrants, I'll double it. I want this contest to really go. I tweet it. I put it in groups. I get it liked, but they don't enter it. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm taking a huge chance here of money I really don't have and can't afford. But I'm willing to do this to get people to the site because I believe in the site. I believe in what we're doing, and I believe in our content.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's why I'm doing it.
I'm going to tell you, I got the strategy, dude. I got it.
Yeah.
So if you ever go over to Europe, they have like big sensational headlines on their front page, like, boy eats head, and if you go to Germany and Spain, they actually got like naked girls on the cover of their newspapers. Hey, I'm just saying, desperate times, desperate measures,
but you know what? Here's what we can do. We can I can put an article up to where it's front page about the pick'em contest and what we're doing, leave it up for a couple days until we put something else up or put it, front page on the pick'em contest to where it says that. But I think that's a way, and I got to work on the rules. I got to work on that tonight. But I really want this. I want the site to kick off. I want the show to kick off.
Right.
And it's not that I don't appreciate those that watch it. I do. But like today, and this is nothing against, we got 2 viewers, and I got to be honest. Maybe for you guys, you don't see it like I do because you're not seeing who's watching and who's not. But when you look up and you see 1 person, no persons, 2 persons, you're thinking, why do you do this? And it gets hard. I got to tell you, it gets hard. It gets depressing at times. It really does. But at the same time, I believe in what I'm doing.
Right.
I really do believe in this. And I want to do something. I want to put a challenge out. And Brock, I'm going to kind of put this one out to you a little bit. and Jeremy.
Okay.
I was looking at numbers earlier, right? Let me do a quick thing. And I'm going to put this out to you and Jeremy to see if you can help make this happen. Right? Last week we had 1,500. Let me get this number right. We had 1,546 visitors.
Good. Okay.
That means 1,546 people came to our site over the week. As of today, with a day and a half, less than a day and a half to go, we're at 875. We need basically 700 visitors between now and midnight, my time Sunday, so 5 a.m. St. Louis time. Here's what my challenge is. My challenge is to you guys to get all the writers to get on their pages, to take and this is my frustration. And I'm being honest, and I don't put anybody, upset anybody, but I want to put this out a little bit. This is my frustration. I share stuff consistently, and I don't see other people doing it. I don't see other people sharing other stories. I see you guys have got to get on and really hype the site, because I'll be honest with you. You sit there and if your thought process is, why would I do that? I'm not getting paid. Well, that's part of the reason you're not getting paid. It goes hand in hand. If you don't hype the site and we don't get people to the site, I can't pay writers. Plain and simple. This pick'em contest, I'm trying to give away a signed puck. I tried to give away a signed puck. Team of your choice, up to $100. I got one new person. You know, at what point do I say, F it, quit spinning your wheels? You know, I'm being honest. I'm being honest. I want more and more, and I'm doing everything I can. I don't feel the reciprocation from the people who say they're bought in. And Ashley, that's not you. I want to make sure I say that right off the bat. Ashley, that's not you. I know you're bought in. I know what you do. But and I'm going to tell you, if you're upset by that, if the shoe fits, wear it. I mean, is that a fair statement?
Yeah. Well, what I want to say is,
go.
When I do a tweet, I automatically, almost every time, put you in, put Lance in, put Jeremy in, or I'll put in, I made a friend in who lives in Ottawa. He said, hey, man, put me in, I'll retweet your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so some random stranger will do that. And I'm like, well, you know, like, I'm retweeting your article for you to a guy in Ottawa, and you're just kind of sitting there. It's like, well, that's not really how it works. You know, if you want to develop an audience, and Guy, you've done it. I'm doing it with hockey writers. Fox, you're doing it too. You got to develop your audience. You got to work with your audience. You have to, let them share the responsibility to grow that site. So that's all. I just, you know what I mean? It's frustrating, but we still love it because we love hockey. We love the people that tune in. You know, we have personal relationships with a lot of people outside the show. You know, we talk to people. We try to work with the writers. We really want to develop writers.
Look what I did at the beginning of the show.
We feel like that's right. And we're ethical people. Like, we don't treat people poorly. We don't get them on to roast them. We don't get them on to beat them up. We're respectful. You know, we try to get interesting guests. So, you know, we're really doing, I think, things that other podcasts aren't. That's just three guys getting up and blah, blah, blah. We're really making efforts to get new players and new contests and stuff like that.
I'll say
I'm
this.
sorry for the rant, but, you know.
No, you're good.
No, we need it.
I will say this. I know that I have not put in a lot of time into writing and doing what I can. I'm trying to promote as much as I can.
I know that.
I mean, with school and work, I'm doing what I can.
I get that. I
forgot about my wife's broken toe.
Yeah. Well,
I
Jeremy,
forgot to tell you about that
again, this is one of those where if the shoe fits, wear it. If it doesn't, pass it by.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. There are some where the shoe fits. There are others where it doesn't. You know, Guido says I reposted on your feed on Facebook. That's great, Guido. But the other thing, and you do right. That's right. We're working on a couple articles with you. We're having you do rewrites, and that's, I had Brock do a rewrite. Brock's had me do rewrites. So that's not a negative thing. No. I've had Jeremy do rewrites. Right?
A couple of them.
That's not a negative thing, correct?
No. That's
right?
a positive building thing.
Yes.
Okay, this is good.
But here's the other thing that I do. Blues groups. I share the stuff in blues groups that you guys are in. Some people are in, and I get no likes. I get no comments, no nothing. On the YouTube channel, I hit 600, by the way. Finally, it took almost a year to go from 500 to 600. That's ridiculous, to be honest with you. Right? It took forever for me to go from 500 to 600. And that's, whatever reason. And I know I don't want to sound, what do you call it? Contriving or anything.
Lawn, man.
Huh?
Old man, get off my lawn.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like that. But what I am saying is I constantly hear, oh, your stuff is great. I love it. But I don't get I get this. Right. I don't get action.
Right.
Right. You know the old saying, see, there's an old saying that I hate, and it's that a picture's worth 1,000 words. I so hate that saying because you know what? Make your words create a picture that you never forget. Make your words create a picture that they never forget. If you tell somebody that I love what you're doing, prove it. If you tell somebody, God, I love your site, share it, show it, go on the site, make comments, take that site and go, hey guys, look at this contest or look at this or look at that. And I know how much that gets done and doesn't get done, plain and simple. So when I have 50 people tell me they shared an article and my site says 3 shared it, what am I supposed to think?
Right.
Well, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. I want you to know that you can do more. Do more. We're doing more. We're helping. You know what? I'm not Jamie Rivers. I'm not a former player. I'm not anybody special. I get that. I absolutely get that. However, I'm here for you every single day, 6 days a week, 8:00.
Yep.
Brock, I'm going to ask you this question. How many times do I get asked, are you doing a show today?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
How many times do I get asked that? Are you doing a show today?
Yep.
Guys, I'm glad tomorrow's Sunday because I need a break. I really do. No, hold on, Ashley. You got to understand, this is not aimed at you. You're doing more. I get you, Ashley. There's a lot of other people out there that aren't.
That's
right?
One of the podcasts that I've been trying to get on to help promote the site, Slapshot Sweethearts.
They're coming on the show.
Are they? Awesome.
Yes. We're setting it up for next week.
Fantastic.
Right?
They just hit 600 a couple of days ago. And they just
how long
started.
Have they been going?
I think it's only been a couple months.
Yeah, I've been going 3 years.
I know. That's what I'm saying is I don't know what they're doing other than I don't want to say.
I know where you're going, and I get that.
I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going, and that's fine. But at the same time, there's others that don't have females on that move along. That for some reason our show doesn't get whatever, and I do everything I can, and I'm not a dickhead. I'm really not, right? And I try and keep the language down. I try and keep the sailor out.
Right.
But see,
I'll tell you what. Yeah, go.
Here's what I said. I mean, and this is me, old Brockster, going to give you a big old pep talk, man. Look, man, you guys built this stuff out of nothing. You're doing a great job. You have people tuning in and conversing with us. And again, I'm getting a little distracted by the messages, but so you're doing it. But the other thing is, like, you're looking at it the short terms. You're looking at, I only got 2 tonight. I only got 50 tonight. Remember the nights when we had 125? You remember the nights when the comments were blowing up? It's like it's a marathon, not a sprint. And you just got, it's the long-term game. I talked to a guy the other day that he's getting 3 million hits on his videos. He's a local guy here in St. Louis, and he said that he basically has been doing it for 6-7 years. And that's how long it's taken him to build it up. And
I know.
1 year, it just went from here to boom, you know? So we're doing what we can, man.
Okay, Sports Freak throws it back at me and says, take a break, stop blaming your fans for your show not being as successful as you want it, and think about comparing a hockey hit to a sexual assault.
Yeah, well, we apologize for that. We moved on.
Well,
No, don't
what
let
I was
anything trigger
comparing.
you.
No. I want to make this statement just so they understand it. I was comparing victimization. That's what I was comparing.
Mm-hmm.
Victimization, blaming the victim for the incident.
Sure.
And that is exactly what was happening with this hit.
Are we talking about the Scheifele and Evans hit still, or?
Yeah, a little bit. He says, maybe when you take accountability, you will get more views. And my honest opinion from following you for 2 seasons. Well, I feel like I do take accountability, but if I don't, that's something I got to go. You switched off the Facebook Live to YouTube. Going to take time to pick up to convince people to switch over. And that I understand too. That I do. I just, you know, it's very hard, you know, Josh, Sports Freak, you can call me later. I'd like to talk to you more about your comment there. I really would, and I mean that in the nicest, bestest of ways. I want to understand more what you think. Okay, and I mean that. I absolutely mean that. I will take your comments offline, and I want to learn from it. And that's the one thing that I think I've done very well is trying to learn from my mistakes. Right? Was I wrong comparing a hit to sexual assault? Yes, I was. Was I wrong comparing victimizations? No, I was not. So I will say that I chose the wrong victim, but my point was a valid point. So I will take a responsibility for going in the wrong direction. Right? And I mean that. I will take responsibility for going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, and I know you don't. I know what you mean. I know we know you were upset. We know we've been working. We know.
No. Hey, it's all great. And by the way, I blew right by the time. So hey, everyone, this is Guy, the Why Blues fan, coming to you live on Twitter and YouTube. This is the Blue Note Fan Report. I'm joined today by Jeremy the Fox Miller and Brock Banner from the Hockey Writers and Rinkside Media. We are brought to you today by Forrest Crump Enterprises, Mike Zook Enterprises, and War Stories Coffee. Check out stlfanreport.com for more information. You know, and I want, it's not that I don't want to be super famous, and I just want to be successful, right? I want to be able to be successful, and that's it. And Ashley says, you misspoke, but meant well. I didn't take it wrong. And I appreciate that, Ashley. I really do. And actually, we're supposed to have Ashley on today. Ashley, we're going to have you on Tuesday.
And, you know, the other thing is the reason why we brought it up is because we wanted to be upfront about it. That's the first thing we talked about when our guests couldn't be there, is we wanted to deal with it. So, again, you know, be a stand-up guy. We are stand-up guys. We dealt with it and dealt with it last night when it happened. We had an argument about it. But, again, you know, let's not crucify anybody. But, again, we definitely learned, you know, the difference. So again, let's apologize, accept it.
No. Yeah. And that's Absolutely. Yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Please do not score an empty net goal. Please do not score an empty net goal. Who scored that goal, by the way?
Barzell.
Damn, I didn't choose Barzell. I chose the other guy with the long ass name.
Beauvillier?
Yeah, I chose Beauvillier.
Okay.
Has he got any points in this thing?
Huh? No.
Has Beauvillier got any points in this thing?
He has no points. Barzell's got 2. Palmieri has 1. Eberle 1. Mayfield and Dobson.
Dang. Okay, well, I don't need him to get a point. I need it to stay right here. I'll take the 4. I'll take the 4 and be happy. Right? That'll give me 7 for the day and get me up. I'll take it because I had 2-1 Islanders, and this is going 7. I absolutely see it's well, it's going 6 no matter what, but I can see it going 7. Right? It all depends on who wins tomorrow night. Game 6 is going to be in New York. If Boston wins in Boston, New York will win in New York. I absolutely see that happening. And in Game 7, who knows? Right? But I see that.
Can we talk? I know it probably got brought up earlier, but
no, go ahead.
The Montreal Canadiens. Who called that one? Like the 7-game series with Toronto, and now they're on poise to sweep the Jets because I
don't think they'll sweep the Jets. I think they're going to lose 1 at home. I think they're going to go 3-1. However, I do feel that they were hot at the right time, and they got a bonus from that rest. They were able to get healthy. This team hasn't been this healthy since Game 1. For the most part, they're extremely healthy right now. And not only that, Scheifele missing 3 more games is a huge loss.
That's why I think they're going to sweep them.
I don't think they're going to sweep them. I think
they're missing Scheifele. They are.
Well,
but
they're still. Carey Price has been known or shown to have a bad game in the playoffs, right? And I think that he will have a bad game. And the one thing that Montreal doesn't have, Montreal can't win a shootout. Montreal's not winning a 5-4 game. They're not winning a 6-5 game. Maybe they win a 4-3 game, but they're not winning a shootout game. So if they've got to score a ton of goals, they're not going to win that. And I think for Winnipeg, the key is to get out front and fast, right? Like they need to push. They need to do what the Knights did in the first period of Game 3 in Vegas, right? What was it? 24 shots to 3, right? Shots on net, shots on net, shots on net. They controlled the puck. Shots on net. Didn't score, but you could tell that they wore down. They absolutely wore down Colorado, because in the third period, when it counted and mattered, they were ready to come to the battle, and they scored those 2 goals back to back. Right? And Colorado could not mount a charge. They were worn out. They wore them out. They wore them out in the first part.
But you can definitely see the missing piece that Scheifele brought. He brought a lot of those shots. And now that they don't have that, they've got to rely on Kyle Connor, Andrew Kopp, Nikolai Ehlers, and they're not getting it.
Well, again, it's gonna come down to the type of play. What they're going to need to do is score quick and early, right? If they can be up 2-0, 2-1, 3-1, 3-0 at the end of the first, the game's over. Right? The game's over. Without Scheifele, they're not. Yeah, I seen Bubba's comment, and I thank you, Bubba. I really do. Yeah. Right? And like I said, I'm willing to listen, guys. I am. And I apologize for the rant. Just that there's, for my mental state of mind, I needed to blow off steam. And I needed to do it to where somebody heard it other than my deaf ears. And that's all. Right. Hey, and I hope, and if I did offend you, I do apologize.
Yeah, we know that. Hey, real quick. And
yeah,
I just want to bring this up because, again, and it's a change of subjects so I've been watching a lot of games on like NHL 66 and, I've been on Twitter a lot. And, what just completely blows my mind, the things that people write on comment boards and just the names they pick out. It's like, what are you like? I can't it's comedy. It is so funny. Some of the things that they write during these games is just unbelievable.
I know. Well, that's actually why I stay off of Twitter is because I'm so afraid. Well, I don't say stay off, but I don't get into comment tweets. I don't get into comment threads. Very rare. Right. Sports Freak, I appreciate that. And Josh, I know that you've been backing me for a while now, and I appreciate, and that's why I asked you to call me so we could talk about your comment and we could feel, you could feel comfortable and I could feel comfortable. Right. And by the way, I'm wearing this shirt, my Haley shirt, for Haley York. Jordan York graduated high school today. He turns, you guys, I'm warning you now, Monday, I'm singing. Jordan York will turn 18.
Oh, wow.
And Gianna Lagrasso will turn 13. And I know there's a couple other birthdays going on. I think that's Prince's birthday too, though I'm not a Prince fan. But I'm singing happy birthday on Monday. I promise that I'm going to make it happen. Right.
I think you should dress like Prince.
I understand that, Ashley. Say again.
You should dress like Prince. Dress like Prince.
Oh, no.
With a raspberry beret.
Oh,
yes. No. Oh, God, yes. That would be hilarious.
No.
The Jerry curl. Jerry curl, black or purple jacket. Yes, absolutely. I'm all for it.
When doves cry.
You know what? Here's what I will do.
We'll play Prince in the background.
If we ever hit 100 viewers at one time, I'll come back. I'll come on the show in a grass skirt and a coconut bra.
Like that. Oh, yeah. Like we won.
Hold on. I've done it before.
Yeah, that's a prize.
Well, I mean, it's an embarrassment, right? I'm embarrassing myself.
Yeah. Well, I guess, yeah. Maybe we'll get more likes. We'll get people like thumbs in the air.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, well, that's the one problem with this not being in Facebook because I can't see the likes. I can't see them. I have to go to actually on YouTube to see them. So
right.
It's harder there. I might be able to take a quick look at it here in a second and see where we're at.
And, maybe there's a way that one of us here on this end can see the likes on Facebook.
We have 3 likes. We have 3 likes on YouTube. So I'll take that. Hey, Wendy, how you doing, buddy? He will dress and dag and do the hula. We should have Nick name him Pumba.
Nicknamed him.
Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud. And again, I want to come on the show and have fun. I really do. Hey, right. And go ahead, bud.
Just because Wendy just popped up, and then I've been conversing with the AZ sports guys. Just like you're making connections with people all over the country, and it's just fun, man. So you never know. Like Jeremy, you live in Ohio. I live in St. Louis. You live in Hawaii. It's like we cover the ground, man. We really do. So we try to get different people in here and different guests, and we're going to continue to do that. We had Lubos Barteca, which whatever, but that guy had great stories to tell. Pavel Dimitra, a piece I did on Pavel Dimitra. So again, I just want to invite people in, man. You're missing some good stuff.
Yeah. No, you're right, Lashley. It's up to 7 likes now. I made a mistake. I looked at the wrong one.
That's that's what I wanted to bring up. Yeah. Did you see that the OHL, the Sarnia Sting and the OHL drafted a female for the first time ever?
Yes.
Yeah. And
goalie.
You know what? To me, I think it, and I want to say this, and and Ashley's right. We have Richard in Canada. I feel like that was a slight. No, I think it was a slight. Where did they draft her? 276.
Oh, so you think it was a publicity stunt?
Yeah, right. If you're going to draft a female, you draft her in the first or second round. You don't draft her 276. You're just saying, there's 275 guys that are better than you. We're going to take them first. And just because we're at the end of the draft, we're going to take you knowing you might never play. I'm sorry. To me, it's hollow. It's hollow.
Jeremy, abort mission. Abort mission. Abort mission.
No, does it not feel hollow? No, I wouldn't. This is a legitimate.
Okay.
No, legitimately.
Okay. I will say this.
And Ashley says it's better than not being drafted as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll bring something up here in a second. We got a little bit of time.
We're coming up on an hour too, man. So
yeah,
we are. Okay. Yes, it is kind of messed up that it was the 276th pick by the Sarnia Sting that she was selected. But if she wasn't selected and she just got undrafted and brought onto the Sarnia Sting, there wouldn't be a story.
Yeah, but it would have meant more.
Why?
Because that means that she came, let's say she gets on the team. She comes in as a free agent and gets on the team. She works her way on. She earns it. She proves it. This way, it's not just a publicity stunt. Right now, it feels like a publicity stunt.
3-1, by the way.
Ah, crap. Yep, the empty net goal screwed me. And do you want to know why? Yeah, and there we go. Marion Rameau, right? That right there. Do you know who that? Do you guys know that name?
No.
Okay, see, she's the first goalie to ever play in an NHL game.
I know you're talking about Vian Renault.
Okay.
Yeah.
She played against the Blues for one period in a preseason game for Tampa Bay for the Lightning, and that was it. She came in undrafted, free agent, played one game. Now she's doing a lot afterwards, but in some ways, a lot of people felt like the only way that Tampa Bay brought her in is because of her looks. Right? Go look at a picture of her from those days. They highlighted her looks more than her skill.
Yeah.
Again, that was 20 years ago. I get that.
That was the era.
If you want to impress me, draft a woman second in the second round. Draft a woman in the first round. Draft
I think
her.
The reason that it was so big is because we have a women's hockey league.
Yes.
That now it might open up the gates for the women's hockey league to spill into the junior leagues.
And that would be a great, that would be absolutely great.
Right.
I'm out.
Okay.
3 dudes talk about women in hockey, not good optics. I think this is the subject of a show for next week where you have females
Caitlin and
Kim.
Kim.
True point. True point.
Buffy,
But see, I'm on the, believe it or not, I'm on the side of the women in hockey. I have no issue with it.
But I think we're not qualified to talk about it. We're dudes. I mean, we'll never know the struggle. We can't. We just don't know it.
Very true point. Very true point. I just sometimes some things come across optics. You know, we just talked about this, the optics. My comparison, the optics were horrible. Not that it was completely bad, but the optics were horrible. Drafting someone in the 230 or 274th in the last round, the optics are bad. They're trying to make them look good, but they really don't. And that's what I was trying to get at. That there are, and you know what? I know Lance has said that he doesn't think that a woman could play, and I think a woman could play. I think a woman goalie could play, and I think a woman defenseman could play. Right? I really do.
Look at some of the women, U.S. women's players, and some of the Canadian women's players, like oh God, what's her name?
Haley Wickenheiser could have played on a.
I wouldn't mind seeing her in Toronto.
4-1. Now I don't feel so bad.
What about Kaylee Chelios? She's another one, isn't she? Did she?
Yeah,
play?
Yeah. You know,
there's another one.
There's some good ones. Actually, I've been I want to get Haley Wickenheiser on because she is, I think, the niece of Doug Wickenheiser.
Yeah, and she's like up in. She's in
the Hockey Hall of Fame. She's in the Hockey Hall of Fame, right?
Isn't Haley now like player personnel for the Maple Leafs and a doctor, or is that a different one?
No, she's doing something with one of the teams. She's with something with one of the teams.
Yeah, that would be fantastic to get her on.
Ashley makes a good point. I was a goalie. I can talk. Should we count out a round if it's bad to be picked out in the 200s? Ashley, it's not okay. Here's the issue here. It's not that it's bad to be picked in the 200s. It's that you're going to sit there and say, for most of all, the guys in the 7th round, how many of those guys ever make it? Go back and go back in the draft, and you can go back in the last 5 years of the draft and see how many guys drafted in the 7th round are actually in the league, playing in the league right now. The number is really, really low. And she wasn't drafted in the 7th round of a professional league. She was drafted 7th round of a 17, 18-year-old junior hockey, right? The lowest level that you could be drafted at, that's where she was drafted. That's where the hollowness comes into me.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
again, I think it's a great subject for just a whole show.
I was going to say, I think Brock has got a good idea that we need to bring in like Kim and Caitlin and maybe bring this up to the sweethearts.
Yeah,
when they're on and see what they get, their take. Because
the Lamoureux twins were phenomenal women hockey players.
Yes,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't have the round? Well, I mean, you got to have the round. You're picking. You're going down.
Well,
you're going down. Like, you're going down. Right. Oh, why have the 7th round?
That's kind of like
because you
the
never
NFL.
know.
You've got Mr. Irrelevant. Like they make a big deal about the Mr. Irrelevant.
Relevant. Yeah.
And the best one that has come out in the past 10 years is Ryan Suckup, the kicker.
Yeah.
He's still playing in the league.
Yeah. So there are. Well, Tom Brady was a 6th round pick.
Right.
Tom Brady was a 6th round pick. Here we go. Brett Hull was a 6th round pick. 5th or 6th round pick to Calgary. He was not a high draft pick. He was a low draft pick. So there are diamonds in the rough, and I get that. And she could be that diamond in the rough. I get that, and I really do. It's just it feels hollow, right? If you would have told me they drafted her 34th overall, I would have gone, wow, yeah. You tell me they drafted, listen to this. The Ottawa 67s draft Sally Hart with the 34th pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
The Ottawa 67ers in the 7th round with the 274th pick draft Sally Hart. Which one has more power?
The definitely the second.
You see
or
what
the
I
first
mean?
one, but yeah,
the 2nd round.
Yeah,
it has more substantiation behind it. When you're picking her at the very end, you're trying to make a substantiation out of a pick that has no substantiation in it at all. When you could have used the pick to really say we're drafting a woman.
Well,
that's,
like I said, man,
that's my pick on that. Well, guys, we're right about that time. Right. Nicholas Lindstrom was drafted low with the Wings. Yes, that's a good point. There's a lot. And Ashley says you got to start somewhere. And Ashley, that's a true point too. That's an absolute true point. I'm not disrespecting the pick. I think it's great that they picked her. I just think that there's some hollowness to it. If you want to make a splash, the way to make a splash was pick her in the 2nd or 3rd round. Not has a Mr. or Mrs. Irrelevant. And that's kind of what they did. Right? They gave, you know what this is the same as? And oh God, I shouldn't, you know what? Before I even say this, I'll ask you guys offline, because this is the exact same as something that happened in the NFL about 5-10 years ago with the Rams and a Missouri defensive back. Or a Missouri defensive lineman.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Uh-huh.
It's got the same feel to it, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
There you go. Now you understand where I'm going. And I don't want to say it because I don't want to compare the two. But it's got the exact same feel to it. And it's I'm not a dummy. I'm really not. Some people think I'm a freaking idiot when it comes to sports. I'm not. I've actually got a lot of knowledge. I understand sports and I understand the business of sports.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm getting at right there. Because Jeremy, I think you know exactly where I'm at on this.
Yeah. So
and I'm absolutely right, ain't I?
Yes.
The similarities are striking.
Taya was selected in the 14th round.
14th round. 274. Well, they only got like 6 teams. They only got like 6 or 8 teams, and that's why.
I know what you're talking about now.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about now? And it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to cut. I'm going to go ahead and end the show here. It was great to have you. We look forward to you on Monday. Guys, stay around. I still want to talk to you. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo, and thank you for listening to my rumbles and rambles today. And if I offended you, I greatly apologize. I really do. And for Brock Banner and Jeremy the Fox Miller, we say we're bleeding blue with you, and we can't wait to see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report. Aloha.